might as well say, would you be mine? Could you be mine? Won't you be my neighbor? Won't you please? Won't you please? Please won't you be my neighbor? Neighbors are people who are close to us, and friends are people who are close to our hearts. I like to think of you as my neighbor and my friend.
Who's got the power to read? Who answers the call for friends in need? Super why? Super why? He's the guy, he's super why. Who's got the power to read? Who looks into books for the answers we need? Super why? Super why? And the super breeders, we're gonna fly, come along with the super breeders. Adventure waits when you're with super why. Super why and the super breeders, yeah. Super why and the super readers. Adventure waits when you're with super why, yeah, super why. Who's got the power to read? Who answers the call for friends in need? Super why? Super why? He's the guy, he's super why. Who's got the power to read? Who looks into books for the answers we need? Super why? Super why? And the super breeders, we're gonna fly, come along with the super breeders. Adventure waits when you're with super why. Super why and the super breeders, yeah. Super why and the super readers. Adventure waits when you're with super why, yeah, super why.
Cyber chase, we're moving. We're beating Hacker at his game. Don't tell me that he's trying to hack the motherboard. We'll get him every time. Cosmic worlds, freaky places that we see. We've got the power of 1, 2, 3, 4. Running in a cyber chase, we'll meet him face to face. We'll stick together all the time. Adventures in cyberspace. The chase is on. Just wait and see why BER chase.
Scholastic Audio presents 4 fantastic Word Girl adventures. Book 1, Coupon Madness.
Word up, it's Word Girl. Word up, it's Word Girl. Flying at the speed of sound, vocabulary that astounds from the planet lexicon. Watch her villains, here she comes. Faced with a catastrophe, we need the living dictionary. Her superior intellect keeps the crime world in check. Go girl!
Hi, I'm Word Girl. Captain Huggy Face and I are from the planet Lexicon. We crash-landed on Earth when I was a baby. Everyone here knows us as Becky Botsford and Bob. But secretly, I use my super strength and word power to fight evil villains. Word up!
Word up, it's Word Girl. Word up! Here she comes!
At the end of the stories, please keep listening for a special bonus. The Power Words Game.
Word Girl!
One afternoon, Becky and her family were doing some shopping. They were at the only grocery store in town that still allowed monkeys, so Bob could come along. Her brother TJ stared at a life-size cutout of Word Girl.
Can you imagine if she came to life right now?
TJ said dreamily.
Tech Bridge is very happy. Hi, I'm Leslie Countryman. I'm one of the community events coordinators here at Rutgers Sanctuary. Thank you all for coming. We are so pleased to have Octavia Washington and her merry band of actors helping tell this story tonight. I just want to give a little background to how we got connected to Octavia. I have a long-standing relationship with Leslie Avazian through my husband, who's an actor, and we did a wonderful play reading of Leslie's play, 9 Armenians, last year. And Leslie said, there's so many wonderful people I'm working with at Columbia, and here's some names. And so we sent out some messages, and Octavia responded, and we met, and we loved her play. And so we wanted to offer her a gymnasium tonight to try out her play here and have you be a part of that experience. And I asked Octavia to just give me a little background on this piece. So if you'll excuse my tech here. This is what Octavia said to me about this play that she created. The play was designed as a multimedia event which explains all the audio and visual elements you're going to see tonight. Since each of them influences each other, they're being tested all together in this developmental reading. The thought behind the play was that it could be a safe, fun playground to pick up and put down for Black actresses who aren't getting the roles they want or need. So, without further ado, welcome to our cast, and Octavia Washington, please come up and take the floor. Thank you all for being here. Thanks. There you are.
Hey! My name is Octavia Washington, and I wrote this piece. I'm so happy that you're here. Tonight, I will be reading the stage directions. Ben Ranalli will be reading for the stage manager and the X. Mazvita Chanakira will be reading as M, and Dominique Payne will be reading the crew, family members, and also Penny Lipton. The only other thing to add about this play is that it has a lot of things that I love, including birthday parties and peanut butter and jelly, but it's also sort of about how lovely it is to be listened to. Is it okay? Let's start. Okay. Prelude. My rules. Okay, so we're starting. House lights on. Meet M, followed by the run crew, in that order. A lot of the bodies moving, all of them come rushing up from the aisle, carrying a series of props over their shoulders. M is wearing a velour tracksuit with something bedazzled across her butt. Say a brand name like Juicy or Baby Fat, or maybe even just her own name. Think Julie Cooper from the OC. The rest of the crew is decked in black jumpsuits with similarly bedazzled backs that say M's Birthday Bash 2025, plus tiny birthday hats perched precariously on their heads. Not only are they creating the set for the show, which is really just a table chock full of items, a stool, and a projector, they're also presetting all the necessary props on the table, including but not limited to an expo board, chalk, markers, poster paper, balloons, a birthday cake covered by a tray, birthday hats, candles, rope, a big button that lights up, multiple sandwiches in bags, and etc. M gives a walkthrough to the two security guards who meekly follow after. The stage manager, all in black, and distinguished by his headset and general importance, speaks to the crew with quick hand gestures. He faces the audience. He's talking to the booth, who apparently said something wrong because the stage manager rushes off. One of the crew members drags out a karaoke machine, which M snaps at.
No, that's Act 2.
The crew member skedaddles. M faces the audience, looks at the booth. She raises her thumbs. Okay, so we're starting, or yes, house lights off. The starting of the show is instantaneous. Multicolored stage lights come on, along with a huge papier-mâché cake in the middle of a stage.
Ladies and gentlethems, may I present to you an evening of delight, of release, of inhibition, of groundbreaking innovation, of melancholic mystification. Jesus, this is long. Of rhythm and slide, of justice divined, of blah, 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 blah. Oh, I dropped the card. Of M.
Introduction song plays, something very silly, like a theme song.
3, 2, 1.
Then stops. An expectant audience turns back, but nothing happens.
Of M.
Introduction song plays. Then stops. Clearly M is struggling to get out. The crew, realizing that something is wrong, attempt to flip the cake over. Introductory music plays. Then stops. She pops her way out in a totally different outfit, something long with lacy gloves, which we only get a peek of after some difficulty.
Hi, fuck this thing. It's fine. It's fine. It's just a dress rehearsal.
The crew members reach out to help her.
No! Go back to your posts. Hi. Can we start over?
Okay, we're starting over. Blackout, stage lights on. There's a huge cake in the middle of the stage. This time she's figured it out. Wearing a blazer and a vest set, matched with a skirt. Not quite business casual, more business insurrection. Think Vivienne Westwood's Spring-Summer 1995 collection. M pops out of the cake. Cue can studio audience applause.
Hi! Welcome to my mandatory birthday party. How y'all doing? Good? Good? You should all have party hats under your seats. You can put them on now. That's not a request. This party is a demand. Thank you. Oh, shit, we didn't put on any music?
Introduction song starts.
No, not that. What is this, Chuck E. Cheese? I'm working with fucking amateurs. Sorry about that. See, I was gonna do Celebration, but we can't afford that song. Anyway, okay, you all got program notes delivered in the mail?
No, this is sounds of confusion.
You didn't get, oh my God. They don't know what they're doing here? Okay, let's start over.
Blackout in the darkness.
No, that's not what I meant. Tonight we're adventuring through a multimedia celebration of, well, me. There will be sliders, there will be royalty-free music, there will be karaoke.
The same crew member tries to bring out the machine again.
I just told you it's too early. Fuck, what was I? Multimedia? Okay, yeah, there will be dancing, and don't worry, there won't be any audience participation because I'm a narcissist. So take a load off, let's establish the rules because you can't spell fun without rules.
One of the crew members pushes a wheelie chalkboard on stage. This is a Professor M moment. Her glasses, obviously with a cat eye, float down to the stage.
Okay, kids. Rule 1. I am your host, your rhythm and slide, your meta and your Blues Clues. Don't try to contradict me because I'm always right. Rule 2. Please hold all questions until the end. I have carved out a specific amount of time to snip out any loose ends. Rule 3, if you get hungry, please let us know. For our guests, we have prepared multiple...
M lifts up one of the Ziploc baggies.
Peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Why? Because I like them. Please stop. There is no other meaning. You can just press the light next to your chairs and the buzzer will ring like so.
Beat, and then the buzzer rings.
Like so. And a handy-dandy member of the run crew will run. Crew, say hi. Say hi.
Crew stare at each other. Finally, one of them shoves the other forward in order to do a meek hand raise.
See? We're one happy family.
To the crew.
That's enough now.
To the audience.
And if you're allergic to peanuts, well, that's too bad. You know what? I think we're clear on the rules. Oh, I haven't introduced myself. Can I describe myself to you? I mean, most of you know me, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, but some of you are new. My name is M, last name irrelevant like Cher or Beyonce, and I'm your host for your hostage evening. I'm a Capricorn Sun, bitter Betty Moon, negative Nancy rising. LOL. I love lists. I could die for a pros and cons list. Oh my God. I'm very organized. In fact, I've organized tonight into segments. A Kill Bill style talk shit hit list.
M unrolls the pre-made poster filled with lots of cutesy stickers in pink font.
In order of operations, 1, my dad. 2, my sister. 3, my uncle. 4, my nana. 5, Penny Lipton.
Midway through her talking, someone is making a lot of noise, which she ignores at first. Then she snaps her head up.
Excuse me.
The person making all this noise gets loose from their restraints and stands up in his seat in the audience.
You've lost your motherfucking mind.
Okay, where's security?
I told my sister that you were a devil baby, that you were ugly, wrong, evil, disgusting, that she should have gotten rid of you when she had the chance. She didn't want you. We don't want you.
Hello, security?
You can't keep us here.
At that, she looks at him.
Says who?
After a delay, the security guards, with a Danish poking out of their mouth, run towards him. Uncle struggles, screams, spits. There should be an air of danger as they pull him out of the theater. The fuck was that?
You're the devil! You're the devil!
One of the security guards sticks a needle into his arm.
You're the...
And he slumps into their arms.
Goodbye.
The first trill of Goodbye song plays him off, sort of like the sound of a magic wand in the cartoon. And in the middle of that chaos, M takes a red Sharpie off the table and crosses Uncle off the list, replacing it with X.
Rule 1, you guys. Don't interrupt me. Everyone's binds nice and tight. Aw, hell, let's start the party.
Now begin the show. Party music comes blasting. M proceeds to get loose, get jiggy with it, get her freak on, however she determines. The crew members move the chalkboard aside, though still visible to the audience, and pull down the projector screen. 1, my dad.
It means so much that you guys could join. Some more happily than others. This is the perfect mix. New friends, old. It's our town.
Theater kid pause. Get it? Cue slide 1, rough drawing of M's childhood neighborhood.
Okay, more introductions. I grew up here, right on Mary Street, way up, and under a rainbow on Boogie Down Bluesy Avenue and 149th. Kind of a fitting paradox. The Mary and the Bluesy, if you know that area I'm talking about. This is where I was conceived. This is where I was hatched. This is where I was raised. On one side, we had the grocery store where I got my first job and was subsequently fired from my first job, which I thought was fair because I caused many a broken paper bag in my day. On the other side, there was the church. New Life Pilgrim Church of the Episcopalian Seeking Life in the Divine in God, which is a mouthful, but which we only went to because Pastor Lipton lived next door to him, and his wife and his daughter Penny and Mrs. Lipton was the only reason we ever ate home-cooked meals. I mean, my mom was a lot of things, a woman of many brilliant and sad bits, not a cook. And I know you guys are like, we know all of this, we know you, but you don't. I am a mutation of many different magics, the likes of which are unheard of to your filthy ears. Oops, sorry. That made me sound like I'm angry.
M to herself, this is her version of a morning mantra.
Recentering, recentering. You are not your parents' mistakes. You are not an angry black woman. You are the angry black woman. You are not pissed that someone missed their light cue for the Our Town bit.
That last one is directed at the stage manager, who fumbles, but eventually gets the spotlight on M's map.
Ah, thank you. And across the street was the crackpot school that I went to for the first 14 years of my life.
The stage manager cues up a photo of a young, prepubescent M, acne scars and all.
Oh, so that's the photo you picked. I started walking to school with Penny, who lived next door in the first grade. Whenever she wasn't there or was too popular to go with me, I usually had the local drug dealer, Mal, who lived in front of the grocery store looking out for me. Oh, Mal and his gap tooth.
Cute picture of Mal, an older black man with a gap-toothed smile.
He was also the one who taught me how to drive. Take that down. So you get it, don't you? What kind of life that is. This is where I got my hair permed for the first time. This is where I had my first unwilling kiss and my first willing one. This is where I bloomed and bled, and it's mine as much as anything can be yours in the settler colonist project that is the United States, where people give us invisible numbers at birth, and more numbers determine if you can have a house and have a kid and have roots in a baby country that stole us from the places we're originally from, which also denying us any history of origin. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, I grew up here. Well, that's me. Can I describe my dad to you now? My dad is from...
M points on the map and slowly drags her finger towards the end so that she ends up somewhere off.
Here. Way over here, like another life. Not native, which, don't worry, will be a point of contention in our relationship later on. How his school scholarship sweetheart convinced him to become bluesy is, well, it's a story I don't know. What I do know is my dad is quite a man. Not a bad man. Not a meek man, not a strong man, not a stable man, not an unstable man, not a consistently stable man, not a sated man, just a quiet one. He is a chain smoker though, but everyone in my family is. When he talks, you have to lean in. He doesn't raise his words for anyone, not even the people he lives with. I need subtitles to make him accessible. If he wants to tell you something, you have to get in real close. He goes, "Pass me the knife, it's time to make now the soup." I'm always like, "Dad, you're mumbling." You know I hate the mumbling. And rather than getting louder, he gestures. Since you guys don't know him that well, you can't tell, but I'm nailing this impression. Hold on, let me show him to you.
M shows them him, whatever she thinks that means, as she talks.
Brown eyes, ugly feet, lean and mean twisted toes, big forehead, small mouth, handsome face lady, killer lady, pleaser lady, believer, card thrower, mountain mover, daughter sucker, son sucker, husband sucker, down and round.
Mini performance ends.
Clap. Thank you. I think he's always wanted to be loud, but he just couldn't. You know, something in him just fizzled every time the opportunity presented itself. Not like me. You're not being my daughter right now, you would say to me whenever I'd get in trouble for being very loudly dressed at a serious event or loudly mouthed to a serious person. You're not being my father right now. I've always been suspicious about the circumstances of my birth. No, seriously. Okay, my parents met and fell in love in the fancy high school a borough away, and after finding out that mom was pregnant, apparently they ran away. Where were the adults? Who was in charge? How much money do they have in savings? How do they afford a one-bedroom apartment that even I can't afford right now? The last one is about inflation, but still, these are questions that I don't have answers to, as my parents have taken it upon themselves to obfuscate and defy their past. I think it's because they're both Scorpios. But you know, what do I have? A slideshow.
Slide 2, title slide, Scooby-Doo Villains That Remind Me of My Father by M. Do, appears on the projector.
Ironically, the only thing that brings my dad and I together is a mutual, at times dueling, love of Scooby-Doo.
Another Professor M moment. A totally different pair of glasses appear midair.
Let me describe Scooby-Doo to you. It's about these 4 kids and Shaggy's dog from Coolsville who are sorta anti-capitalist and anti-police, used to solving community problems in their mystery machine. The troublemakers are frequently people who want to preserve institutions or harm others disguised as ghosts and goblins. Would Hanna-Barbera use the same summary? Who cares? Sure, the gang has prejudices. That makes them fumble the mask, but the point of Scooby-Doo is that you can touch all your monsters, and with the help of your friends, unmask and unravel them. Now, who wants to watch another adaptation of that same plot? Me and my father. So I have a prepared slideshow for you titled Scooby-Doo Villains That Remind Me of My Father.
Slide 3, what's new, Scooby-Doo?
One of the first jobs my dad ever got was a board operator for the community theater center. Yes, I am a Nepo baby. He was their faceless phantom, chill until you touched his board, and then suddenly he was flying over things and running your production, which is what the Fearless Phantom did, by the way, except on film sets. You know, the more important art form.
Slide 4, Scooby-Doo and Scooby-Doo 2, Monsters Unleashed.
I don't want to waste our precious limited time together waxing rhapsody about the star-studded banger starring Sarah Michelle Gellar as my sexual awakening. So I'll just say, like, Mondavris, aka spoilers for insert the amount of time it's been around, you know, movies, Scrappy-Doo. My father's had multiple family members ask him to leave events. This is something we share in common, although his was because he was being mean in Nana's house and mine was because I'm annoying. He's also the Phantom Shadow, not to be confused with Faceless Phantom, not also to be confused with the icon, Giggling Green Ghost, because if there's one thing this IP's gonna do, it's reuse the same villains over and over under the guise of recurring. It's because they're both of many names, 3 long first names, 2 middle names, a nickname from homies, a nickname from my mom, a number from the precinct, a name tag at work.
Slide 5, Scooby-Doo, where are you?
Oh, okay. I actually have a vaguely related story about this one. So, the OG Hanna-Barbera series is by far my favorite. Has all sorts of fun things, including racist tropes, racial epithets, and of course the icon, the legend, Old Man Jenkins. We'd watch together on Boomerang at exactly 6 p.m., right before the evening news. Dad would sit on the couch with his legs like this.
Demonstrates with a chair.
I would sit on the floor, usually leaning with my peanut head on his bony knees like, can one of you guys help?
She snaps her fingers and an obedient, albeit discomforted, crew member runs out. She gestures for them to sit down, leaning on her knee. Like this? M snaps continue, speeding them up. Yes, like this. And together they form a portrait of M and her dad. Maybe the tone of the story changes a little once the crew member joins. A little more ceremonial, reverential. M might touch their shoulders. The crew member might start to slouch as the story time continues.
I was wearing my uniform, this yellow and blue atrocity that neither of my parents could afford, that the Liptons paid for, actually, because I couldn't stand not looking like Penny. My dad's a compressed man. He doesn't really make a lot of noise with his cigarette, especially not during Scooby-Doo. Except Mom's wound tight tonight, tighter than usual. For some reason, she's put on Nana's red gingham apron, which stresses her out because Nana doesn't like her. I don't really know the whole story, but whenever Nana brings tomatoes, which she grows in her backyard, by the way, she always brings more for me and Dad than for Mom. But back to the story. Mom's peering out over her big corkscrew lenses because she's basically blind, making the noise because Dad hasn't taken off his shoes and he's left a muddy sawdust track all the way from the door to the sofa. And my dad is a quiet man, except when he's hovered. That's the one thing, I guess, that fizzles his brain. And Mom knows this, but she can't help being controlling. She's a director. She keeps coming back, moving my shoes to the shoe rack, wiping at the counter above the foot stain. Annoying, mostly because she's blocking the TV, and Dad's dropping flecks of nicotine on the floor. He's shaking, which is making her passive more aggressive. But it doesn't end there. She calls him into the kitchen. If there's one thing my dad hates more than being hovered, it's being summoned. He ignores her, but I know he hears because his eyebrows get so low they start to sink into his mouth. She calls him again. At this point, I start tapping my feet against the rug because I know Fred's about to pull off the mask and I'm about to be right. It's Phantom Ghost tonight. He goes on her third call. I catch every third word. The listen to me. No, you listen. They're getting louder, and then I hear a whoosh. I go into the kitchen, and there's a fire raging. Mom is patting at her gingham apron over and over. Our cat is standing on all four paws and hissing, and Dad's holding his lighter like a microphone. Mom's saying, "You shit!" Taking the apron off and putting it in the sink. Look at the stain. She's more upset about the apron than being almost set on fire. Dad's standing in place with this dumb look in his eye, like he's shocked too. Though the fire is gone by now, washed away in the sink, and I think for a second, man, you look just like Grandpa. Now, I only met Dad, Grandpa, once when he was in hospice, and once was enough. Dad looked the same way over Grandpa, struck dumb, and Dad's dad used to beat him up, and Dad's dad's dad used to beat him up. Fred pulls off the mask, and I deflate. Crap. Old man Jenkins again?
That one crew member looks horrified. They run away from Em and her morbidity.
What? It's simple. Daddy issues. It's repetitive, it's annoying, but it's home. It's home, right? The story makes him sound bad. It's supposed to be funny. We eat the same rage, like father, like daughter. Whenever I get angry, I pull the mask over my head and go, "Oh, you again!" It's home.
To the audience, accusing.
Hey, it would have been funnier in my eulogy.
Eulogy. Whatever that means is later. Someone in the audience is making a lot of noise.
Who is talking? I said no participation.
Out of the disturbance comes Em's dad, plain except for the perspiration and tape slipping off his mouth.
Emma, I tried my best for you. I should have tried harder. Your mom would have wanted you to.
Excuse me, this isn't part of the show.
I tried my best with you two. I did what I could to see you through. I mean, to invite you, but it just, you have to forgive me.
Slide 6 of Em and her dad, Christmas time, not on the approved list. Em doesn't know this at first.
Oh God, you make everything about you. You suck the air out of my lungs. I don't know how we ended up so different.
You have to forgive me, Emma.
That's not my fucking name. Who added this? Take it down. Take it down. Guards!
A little more prepared, the security guards come to drag Dad out with the goodbye song behind them. Although he makes a run for it, unlike Uncle, but they catch him and drag him backstage. Everyone seems a little nervous when he's gone.
Anyway, shall we play a game? Any volunteers?
She's staring straight at the crew members. Like an animal trainer, she beckons them. She gestures at the food on the table. Hungry? They are.
Take 5?
Immediately, house lights on.
Thank you, 5.
Em has a series of Post-its already pre-written on, which she pulls out of her jacket pocket and hands to the crew.
I was looking up games you play at birthday parties because I've never had one before. I mean, I've been invited to them. Yeah, I've been invited to multiple parties. And I saw this one game where you put a Post-it, get this, on your forehead. And you have to guess what's on your head while the other person has to describe it.
This is a huge deal for M, who clearly has never played a game with anyone before.
So, heads up, like Ellen used to on her show, or like Guess Who, or like...
It takes him a moment to find the end of that sentence before another crew member elbows. M has stopped blinking.
If you don't want to play...
No, we do. He's just being the dick. We've never played.
Great!
The crew sticks their post-its to their heads. M sticks hers.
Who am I?
You're blonde. You have a great white smile. You're kind of mother.
I'm Sarah Michelle Gellar!
Cue canned laughter and applause from the booth. Maybe the crew gets into it a little.
Okay. Who am I?
You're cranky. Kinda mean? Kinda old.
Like old, like you?
Older. Very particular about who you associate with and, you know, their color.
Their color?
Yeah, like a racist. You're a racist.
Okay, the mood's broken.
Yeah, like one time when I was 14, we were having a junior dance and I didn't have a date, which didn't really bother me that much, except it was driving you insane. I was going with Penny, so I was fine, but you said pity date with another girl? No way. Because no woman in our family has ever, this is what you said, ever gone stag. Like the notion was deplorable. Even my little sister had a date. Even your mother, this is you speaking to me, even your mother had boys clamoring to date her. That's how she ended up pregnant at 16, the slut. So, in a rare move of initiative, you showed up at our apartment, which was crazy because you hate bluesy people, and we never see you at anything but Christmas except that 1 year, but that was because, no, that's not what I'm talking about. You took me to the mall, and we dipped into every department store until the sun. It was like a scene for Pretty Woman. It was awesome. And I found this dress, this green, beautiful, ruffled, fluffed miracle of a dress, and then you burst into the dressing room, and I spun for you and said, ah? And you shook your head? Nope. Green doesn't work with my coloring. I shouldn't draw attention to my misfortune of skin. Your words. And then you said, look what I found, and shook a beige monstrosity at me.
I would never.
You're my grandma.
The crew stutters, but M's not listening.
Hey, she's still alive.
The stage manager comes to poke at M's grandmother in the audience. She's asleep in her binds, just asleep, thankfully. Stage manager gives M a thumbs up.
Great. You don't get to die yet, Grandma.
M laughs. No one else does. For the first time, maybe ever, she reads the room.
Okay, you know what? This is stupid.
No, it wasn't stupid. We don't mind. He's stupid.
Can you do me a favor? I need you to get something from Walgreens.
But I...
What about the show? They look around to the stage manager and fellow crew for some support.
What do we need so much crew for? We'll survive with one down.
No, we won't.
It's 5 minutes. You should go.
The security guards take this as their cue to get up, which frightens the crew. M waves them off. Oops, not this time.
Okay.
Great, here's a list.
M writes something on the back of her post-it and hands it to crew number 1, who takes it and exits the theater, exposing the lobby. The other crew members look at each other. If she can kick them out too, what's next? They look at the stage manager for guidance, who's as stumped as them.
1 minute till run.
Why don't we just start right now?
2, my sister. With M's clap, stage lights on. Clear stage, except for M in a totally different outfit. It's an adaptation of her business Barbie look. Maybe her jacket's gotten longer, the sudden introduction of pants, black opera gloves, or even a solid color fedora with a feather. Think Italian Vogue or Renee Gunter. With one of the crew members gone, M has to pick up the slack. There should be various moments where M is assisting the other crew with transitions and props.
My sister isn't talking to me right now. We had an argument about some stuff. In that argument, we said some stuff, much of it not nice. I would be more concerned, except she's often not talking to me. Any older siblings in the house? Just kidding, I don't care. If you're the eldest like me, you understand that your responsibility as the symbiotic household is to bear the brunt of your younger siblings' ire. It's not your fault. You understand that. You have no monopoly on their trauma or every missed game or messed up friendship or misplaced item which they actually stole from your closet. But still, you take the fire. That's what a good parent sister does.
Slide 7 of Em and her sister as little kids. To clarify, the two do look pretty similar, down to the same sweater. Em looks back, the nostalgia is not working.
Christ. Can I describe my sister to you? Enough of that. Let's see. What's a vaguely related story that I can exploit for the sake of the show? Okay, so one time when I was 7 and my sister was 2, we were sleeping in the same bed and I was babysitting. I know! Now I just smothered your belief. How can a 7-year-old watch a 2-year-old? I was a very mature child. So, I was a very serious child. That's probably more accurate. I started writing my will when I was 7. It was very good. But anyway, we were in the same bed, my sister, my younger sister, my near twin sister, and I, and we were arguing. And yes, I was fighting with a 2-year-old because she can be very feisty. And one thing about me, I'll fight a child and you can quote me on that. But anyway, she wanted to watch Cubo before bed. Sorry, do you guys know what Cubo is? I keep asking you questions like you can talk. Okay, so Cubo was a television network for poor children in the early 2000s in between Disney Channel and a shelter. Featured hit shows such as Maisie, Jane and the Dragon, My Shit, Pearly, Her Shit, and Jacob Tutu. For the people whose bells just rang, I love that for us. She wanted to watch Pearly before bed, so she did like this.
Em flaps her arms to signal fairy wings.
Allow me to explain Pearly to you. Pearly is a show about an employed boss bitch fairy who gets into a lot of shenanigans, which makes her clash with her xenophobic community while also grappling with her own privilege as someone working within the system. Yeah, that's what it's about. But anyway, I was like, no, I don't want to watch your white savior show, but also we're not supposed to watch TV once we're in bed. We're supposed to lay down like we're in a coffin, shut our eyes, and shut up. I'm the authority of bedtime, and if mommy and daddy aren't here, but lost to the sound emitting from outside of the apartment in fear of whatever monsters they originate from, which is not dissimilar from the themes in Pearly, then I will sanctify sleep. You can imagine how well she took that. No, you know what? You don't have to imagine it. I'll act it out for you.
Em gets 2 puppets. Maybe the crew hands it to her, or maybe this is another thing that materializes out of the magic of the space. It's papier-mâché Pearly, her sister, and Opal, Em. The crew members act out the scene for her, with Em acting as narrator. Maybe one of them has more mastery over puppetry than the other.
Show me why.
A very profound ask for a 2-year-old.
Show me why you own bedtime. You colonize bedtime. Show me why.
Now, who the fuck says that?
No way. Show me. Show you. Show me.
So I got up and I justified my authority.
I'm taller than you, see? So I have the right to the perimeter of the TV. Only I can reach the buttons. Show me. I'm wearing pajama pants. You're wearing a nightgown. The pants obviously signal that I am an adult. Show me. Will you shut up? I'm a 7-year-old prophet in control of right and wrong, and I'm responsible for you and your bags under your eyes when no adult is around. And if tomorrow, when mommy comes back from the sound and she asks what time we went to bed, which is not a question, but an accusation, I will burst into tears, and then she won't trust me. And then I'll have no option but to kill myself, then you.
Crew number 2 looks at her sister, looks at the audience, looks at her sister, looks at the audience, looks at her sister, makes a frustrated sound, and then pulls her sleeping mask over. End of show. Exit crew, leaving puppets.
And after that exasperated pop, she didn't speak to me again for the entire night. Not a sound, not a peep. So you can see the kind of stress that I'm under. No Mother's Day card from her to me. I'm sure you all noticed when you were locked in the white van earlier that my sister isn't here with us. Like in the room, not because she's dead. Well, dead to me.
Em picks up her sister puppet as she speaks. When she's over it, she sets her on the table, sitting facing the audience.
I'm trying my hardest to avoid being reincarnated, which I think is harder to do when you have a sister that looks like you. Same full lips, button nose, falling eyelashes, bad eyesight. Although she's the pretty one. That's what people say. That's maybe a microcosm of what our not nice words from last week were about. It started because my mom left the bluesy bell bottoms to me in her will. Oh, yes, sorry to drop that on you. I do have a dead mom, a recently deceased mother. I am not a Wattpad heroine. No one is coming to save me. It has not affected me in any adverse way. I'm fine, except about these pants. You guys don't get it.
Some very light heart plays. M's yearning song over a fade-in of M's mom, younger, and these purple disco bell-bottoms.
These pants can change you, cleanse you, liberate you. Zipper in the back, from here to here. The way they hug my ass, it stirs you, it galvanizes you, it electrifies you. It causes a rift between you and your sister that always has been there since your family pitted the two of you apart at birth. And my sister and I happened to be there together in the same room as the pants in my mom's tight apartment, the one she moved into after my parents' divorce, this drink me bottle that she loved and we hated. We were there to clean out her stuff. And while the purple illuminated from the corner, our phones dinged.
The text pops up.
A prophecy from my uncle. One daughter needed to deliver a Line's eulogy. Thanks.
M's face as she processes that. I mean, what the fuck, right? M stares at her sister puppet. The puppet stares right back.
She said immediately that it should be me. I hate when she gets sanctimonious.
M is even more confused. She picks up her sister puppet, sits down with her, and begins to do a ventriloquist act with her sister.
You're her favorite. No, I'm not. You are. She left you the pants. I knew it. You're jealous. I'm not jealous. You are. Not. Are. Not. You're so immature. But mature enough to deliver a eulogy? Who sends a text like that? I mean, really, this one daughter to rule them all bullshit? He's trying his best. He wants us to fight. You assume the worst in everyone. You assume this, and he wants you to do it? You're his favorite. He hates me. No one hates you. You never try with them. No, actually, some people hate me. And what do you mean by that? Never try. I'm always trying. Is this you trying? No one hates you except the KKK. I hate when you say that.
M throws her sister puppet into the audience.
And yeah, it got worse after that. I guess we trigger each other's beasts. When I voice any discontent about our family, it really rubs her intense paranoia rancid. Her face started getting all splotchy and her mouth reached in her chin like it does when she's mad and she's trying not to yell, but I know I'm about to make her yell. And me, I get really upset when she tells me that I'm imagining it, how people treat me, how mom's entire side of the family talks to me. I don't know if it's my bad attitude or my clothes or their richness and our poverty, or that mom had me when she was 16 and my sister when she was 21, and every time they see me, it reminds them of that dark period between her running away from her 10 siblings and meeting me, the fully formed child, for the first time. Or it's about this one time when we were kids and we were sleeping over at my mom, aunt's house, and I woke up in the middle of the night and found my mom, uncle praying over me with a candle in one hand and incense in the other, talking about realizing my black blood and its dirtiness. The point is, they don't like me. My sister's been especially sensitive to hearing this since the will. She gave me the whole "we're all each other" has, but I don't think they're my family. I know I can be pretty weird, but I don't think family makes you climb walls to greet them. I don't think family makes your skin crawl and stink. I don't think family tastes like shit on your tongue. I said something to that effect, and she called me selfish, even making mom's death about me, and I called her a traitor, desperate for everyone's light-skin consolidation, and she said maybe I am as bad as they say, and I said, fuck you, which I've never said to my sister before, and now, it's now. So we fed each other's beasts, and now I don't have any connection to mom that's not mad at me, except Nana, because my sister's not talking to me.
M is contemplative after that. Something occurs to her.
But you know what I do have? The capsules.
This is an impromptu decision. M gets up and walks off stage. She talks as she goes. It's hiding somewhere backstage.
You know, one time in high school, my sister and I made 2 time capsules, one for each of us, and agreed to open only at the funeral of whoever died first. It was Penny's idea because she was tired of us distracting the yearbook club with our squabbles. But since I am dead to my sister, and since she stopped sharing her location with me, so I have no idea where she is, and since this is the first year she's never texted me SpongeBob with a birthday cake, there's no reason to keep that promise. This is the one that my sister made to be presented at my funeral.
M holds out the time capsule, a brown box decorated by scrap magazine images. It's labeled, Shit for M. Although there's a strike line through the sender, it looks like M's crossed her name out in that red Sharpie. M shakes the box.
Come out, come out!
She almost gets it open when crew member number 1 comes back into the theater from the door, holding a small plastic bag. They hand it to her and run away.
Oh, something more interesting. Guys, I forgot. We actually have a special guest with us today. Say hello to Derek.
Apparently, there's a camera in the lobby. The projector shows us, with a Kiss Cam style Snapchat heart filter overlaid, a man in a leather jacket standing outside, confused at what he's doing here. His outfit is giving soft boy. No Pinterest example. Guys, figure it out.
Ladies and gentlemen, my ex-boyfriend.
Introduction song starts.
3, 2, 1.
He's ushered in, awkward. This is clearly not what M texted.
Brother, this guy stinks!
You suck.
Take a seat, honey. You're in for a ride.
3, my ex.
What the?
The security guards drag him to his seat. While M talks, they're restraining him.
Speaking of people who weren't invited to Mom's funeral, how do I even describe my honey to you?
Eminem, seriously, what the fuck?
This is all he gets out before tape comes over his mouth.
Can someone explain the rules to him?
A crew member runs to whisper catch up M's ex, while another one pushes M's chalkboard menacingly closer to the audience.
My honey is gold. My honey is piss. My honey is, how, screw no audience participation, get him up here.
M and the crew create a makeshift talk show with the table forming a desk. The security guard changes course and drags him downstage. Here's his seat, diagonal to M.
Wait, hold on.
M runs out and comes back with lightning speed in a brand new outfit. Her new suit is very distressed, with rips that expose her button down underneath. Think Sarah Lopez and her distressed suits.
Once again, give it up!
A live band plays him, Think the Roots, and the security guard onto the stage with the most talk show intro ever. M waves and beams. The security guard stands some distance behind him, pantomiming threats every time he looks back. The fake live band plays out her sitting down a few times before she finally does.
So great you're here. Welcome to Late Night. We're live with the greatest studio audience. Say hi, guys.
Just some mummering in the crowd. It doesn't deter her.
Great. You want to tell the people how we met? Okay, I'll tell them. I met him in an art class, actually. I know you're like, what? In addition to being witty, beautiful, and organized, you're also an artist? Guys, stop. I wasn't drawing, I was the model. We were the models. Do you want to show them your pose? I'll show them.
The crew brings out the stoop for M. She poses, holds the tableau for 30 seconds.
Let us all vow to never again date a man pretty enough to be a nude model. Actually, I have a confession, and you don't know this one. I decided to do it because I saw you in the hallway 2 sessions before when I was on my way to meet a friend, my free-flowing stoner friend. Yes, I have friends. And you were sitting there in your white fluffy robe, vaping indoors. And then this Adonis-looking biracial white Mom, and yeah, that matters. Motherfucker turns his head, sees me staring, drops his smile in my palm, and walks straight into the classroom. No doubt, all surety, took off his robe in front of God and all his creations. And I was like, wow, I don't know if I want to sleep with Mr. Man or be Mr. Man. So I asked my friend what you were doing there, and she said you were there for the portrait class, and they're always seeking models. So, of course, I always framed it as a matter of coincidence later on. The whole, oh, I just happen to be here, and it's so weird, right? So there I was, 19, love sunk, love struck, love fucked, whatever, for about 3 months or so. You know, I actually have one of the drawings that someone made of you.
Em holds up one of those black cardboard paper boxes that talk show hosts use. Except it's a cartoon, or someone a 5-year-old would draw.
It's so perfect. I mean, like technically, you know, artistry-wise, it's all there. But the way they captured your fuckboyness, it's so good. With the hair and the eyes and his piercings, and it's so perfect. It's such a performance. I could write a thesis paper about it. The performativity it takes to communicate to women that you're not going to hurt them, or at least not more than any bad boy would, that your e-boy qualities release you from perpetuating too much harm, just regular harm, things you can wash away in a shower. It's the way I've wanted to communicate to people my entire life. I find that my words slant before they reach people's ears. They don't really get me. Secret time, but I often wished I was a boy when I was a kid, and maybe it might have had something to do with wanting to kiss girls, who's to say, but it was more like I wanted to move through the world with the same cloak that men have, of ease and breeze, the way I think I was supposed to move, but I got stuck in a body that stands out and strikes out wherever it goes. When I looked at your body, I felt like I was coming home with what I could have been. It's all so perfect.
Em also holds up a drawing of her. It's another stretched out cartoon, or a 5-year-old's refrigerator drawing.
This is supposed to be me. I don't know, I thought I could do it. Some people are good at being naked, I'm not. I went to the Carrie Bradshaw School of Chic, okay, which is actually not a very progressive school, okay, very regressive, okay, it hasn't aged well, okay, but it's all very chic. It's all about going with the flow while looking fabulous and having great hair and letting your bad habits smoke you into the ground. Except when I looked at having everyone else's drawings, I saw an anatomy that wasn't mine, and that made me feel like I had just slipper tar into my brain, and then I couldn't sleep because I couldn't stop thinking, is this what you guys see when you look at me? And so I fell into Tartarus, and I bit my nails to bloody stumps for a week until my roommate had to run them underwater, and so I stopped modeling after 1 session. But I got the hot model out of a dysphoric deal, which was more simple than I thought, because it just required that I hate myself, and I was already halfway there. I have a series of text messages that you sent me that I want to show everyone, but I first gotta...
Em is digging around for wherever she put the plastic bag. When she finds it, she pulls out the pregnancy test.
Sorry about that. Hold on.
Em takes the test with her as she runs off stage left. We can still hear her talking as she takes the test. One of the run crew comes to hold up the first pic in the X's series of texts. Em comes back out at some point in the middle of the next paragraph once she's done and sets a timer on her phone. Text 1, you can be so paranoid, it's in your thighs now.
One of the first signs that we weren't meant to raise picket fence Klingons was that we argued all the time, which was sexy, but also tummy aching. One of those many arguments was about the fact that he had lots of girlfriends, as in girls who are friends, more than me.
Someone in the audience makes a noise.
I know now. And it wasn't that they were girls, it was more that I could never see their eyes at these strange, richy, faux, backlit backyard dinner parties where everyone would smoke me out. So he used to tell me that my feelings, their feelings, were just things I was making up, that I was driving myself crazy. And that these aberrations would manifest in my skin. Look, see? There's your paranoia here in a stretch mark. There's your anxiety in a pimple on your chin. Maybe if you stopped joking that we had seen each other naked before we started sleeping together, they would like you more. And that one was actually fair. I did bring it up a lot. But I knew what your family was thinking. They would try to deter me from dating you. Repeatedly. You didn't know that? Did you? Your Irish aunt patted my shoulder and said, as you get older, there's a lot outside of men. Your guy cousins would touch my hair and go, sweetheart, he's gay. And I'd say, great, me too. Guys, I am so stupid. If a guy's family is telling you not to date him, don't. God, when I saw your girlfriends in the bathroom at these parties, they looked at me like painters looked at me. Abstract, meaningless, a footnote. But in their defense, they were more displeased about me being 19 and him being 26.
Text 2. Hello, are you there? Jesus, why do you pull this? The silent game. Are we 12?
In addition to being a grown man using only lowercase, he would piss me off because he would accuse me of being a narcissist all the time. But I was like, I'm not self-involved, I'm fabulous. One of his reasons was that I take 2 days to respond to everything, texts, emails, whatever. He would say, but you're on your phone all the time. I just saw you like a TikTok. What do you mean you can't respond to my text about what we're going to dinner? Sometimes it's because I forget, but mostly it's because I don't want to. Like, I'm not being a dick. My body literally won't let me. We used to have to send each other letters, okay, which people responded to when they responded. You had to wait. Darcy had to wait in the silence of his own thoughts and change to see if Elizabeth saw his heart bleed all over the page. And he endured the pause, so why can't you? I like to think that some people will want to talk to me so badly that they'll wait for my mind to arrive. This is why, he said, when he was waiting for me to come back to the apartment, after we had another breakup infection, that he started talking to my roommate back when I had a home. This very icy, pixie-cut lady from Slovakia, who is lucky I couldn't get her here tonight, but who liked rats. Okay, you guys? She liked rats as pets. And they both agreed that, yes, I was a narcissist. Yes, I was intense. Yes, I had great tits and bad opinions. And the agreeing was so begetting that they had to take their socks, then shirts, then pants, then underwear off while they waited for me to get back. I was just at the taco truck, by the way, sitting on a bench, waiting for my mind to arrive.
Text 3. Dear Eminem, these past few months with you have gone up and down. You make me feel like there's a zip line rather than my heart, but I think we both know that's not a good thing. It's best for us to be done, don't you think?
I don't know. I don't know how to explain it to you guys. I understand the irony because I gathered you specifically to explain it, but my whole heart sang, sipped and sunk, especially when I saw him a month ago. Sorry, I slept with him a month ago. I know, the rainbow-colored flag. We got into a fight, sorry. Something about afterglow and gazes get all my bugs out. Do you remember what we were fighting about?
She tries to be light, but it's all very serious to her.
I just mentioned that there was another girl, not a woman, a girl, on his stories last night, a girl near my age, a little younger maybe, and she was pretty, but then you said, women always do this, and I was like, man, I'm not even a woman. I'm a color. And he was like, what? Because that's admittedly a confusing thing to say. It's just, when I was 16, I got into this argument with this guy on the train because he thought I was wearing too much pink, and I was like, what are you, the pink police? And he said, you're right, I'm not, which shows that he was a very open-minded crackhead, and yeah, okay, I was taught not to interact with strangers, but I was bored. And he reminded me that I'm not supposed to wear such bright colors as a woman because that attracts devilish spirits, and more are always coming my way because I'm a woo man, get it? And I said, I'm not a womb, I'm a color. And then got off at my stop, which is the coolest thing I've ever done, not only because it was so convenient, but also because it was everything I believed in its perfect distillation. Perfect as crack. I vowed to release myself from the bounds of womanhood. Hear me process. I am free. And yeah, anyway, we broke up. I have prepared an interpretive dance for you. It's called My Ex Tried to Sleep with My Roommate from Slovakia After Giving Me an STD and I'm Still Extremely Bitter About It. METTSWMRFSGFLP for short. Begin.
M stands but doesn't get to show us. The timer rings.
Ooh, okay, here we go.
M brings out the stick from backstage. There's a long pause as M crouches, looking at the test. Something's going on in her eyes. She doesn't get to tell us what, though. By the grace of the security guard's lazy work, the ex has managed to get the tape off his mouth.
Eminem, listen to me. This isn't you. I mean, this is crazy. Look at all these people trapped. You're not crazy. I'm sorry that you know how sorry I am. I'm sorry that the things that I said when we were together hurt your feelings. I didn't know that at the time. Eminem, I didn't even know you had feelings. Come on, let's leave. Let me get you a drink or something. Yeah, let's have dinner, okay? And we can talk about your options. You're such a sweet kid. Come on. Let's not do this bullshit anymore. Okay? You can't do this to people and expect them to not get mad at you, okay? You can't be, it's all about you. Okay, you can't do this and expect people not to get mad at you. This isn't the fucking M show, okay? Sometimes that's just how it works. Sometimes you get fucked over and you fuck people over, okay? That's just how it works. Can we go now?
The stage manager responds.
You need to leave. Eminem!
One of the crew members bravely approaches.
He said you should go.
Em, are you kidding? Who are you? Who are these people?
The crew members give the hint to security to get rid of him, which they do. Cue goodbye song, though it's a little less cute this time since he's cursing Em out over the music.
You can't be serious. You can be such a bitch sometimes. Is it hormones? Is it narcissism? What is it? You're so fucked up, huh?
The stage manager turns the music up louder like they do at the Oscars in the middle of his speech. They don't bring him backstage like they have everyone else. They drop him in the lobby and close the theater doors. Out in the hallway, he kicks the door. Everyone tenses, but he doesn't do any more than that. He's gone. Another monster down. 4, my Nana. The stage managers try to transition her into the next scene by pulling up a picture of Em's Nana, an elderly black woman, and the crew brings out the tomatoes, honey mustard, and a panini toaster. But Em is still rooted in the same spot. Em is taking a long time to respond. It should be awkward.
Do you want to call line?
No, I don't want to fucking call line. I'm sorry, can we just skip the scene? Take that down. I actually have something else.
The crew take the panini toaster, honey mustard, and tomatoes away. 5. Em is riffing now. The scene has a chaotic energy, well, more chaotic than usual, as everyone slowly catches up to her rewrites.
I'm so tired of this. I'm so tired of this shit bleeding me, telling me who I am and what I can do. I propose a new show, a Black Lady Manifesto play, okay? Can I describe my family? Come on, cue, whatever the fuck, go.
Em digs for something in her pocket.
I made an updated genealogy chart a few weeks ago. Here.
She puts it underneath the projector.
Sometimes it feels like my roots extend far enough to form a noose around my neck. My parents met in high school, where Mom apparently understood him enough to create 2 babies, 2 girls. And Mom was raised by Nana, his grandma, on the South End near Sunshine and Bullets, and her granddaddy, Mom's dad, is on the line too, but he was never there, but he was just a ghost until he became one. I was 7 the first time I heard Mom, Grandpa say that I was too ugly to get in the group picture. Actually, he didn't say it like that. He asked if I would mind because everyone else had a theme and I wasn't part of it. Do you get it? Whenever my little cousins on Mom's side came by, we'd put our hands together and ask who'd been in the sun the longest. Do you get it? Fuck, I feel like I'm in Diary of a Mad Black Woman. Christina's not here right now. So when Dad said that the extended side of the family had a meeting about me, I knew what that meant. But fuck you guys. You don't know my mom. You didn't understand her. I understood.
Em's too choked up to finish that thought.
She taught me everything. This is what I would have said, by the way, since you were all so worried about me getting up in front of God and the family. She was lovely, and she was reckless and fashionable, and she forged me through fire and brimstone into the person that I am, and that's how I know that she would have wanted me there. Nana's the only one who said it was wrong. Only only one who didn't go. How dare.
No, M's too choked to finish that one too. Let's move on.
I propose a new show. I have a new list, an ever-evolving list of dysphoric, dystopian happenings associated with Black womanhood because it's different. It's worse.
One of the crew hands her a chalk.
Thank you. Okay. This list is about my experience as a dark-skinned woman, okay? It's about me, it's related to me, and if it's not your experience, fuck off. 1, being a Black woman next to white women.
Makes a noise, a scream, a grunt, a cry. Who knows?
2, everyone is in an interracial relationship according to Hollywood.
Makes a noise.
3, you're a reproductive circumstance, which is, of course, related to slavery.
Makes a noise.
4, when am I ever happy? Because I hardly ever get to hold on to anything more than performed happiness. I cannot have just the face that I was born with without someone asking me to smile. And it's not the same. Put your hands down, white feminists, because me smiling is the difference between having a good day and losing my life. So stop comparing us. God, just let me complain and no one relate. I never get to complain. 5, everyone assumes your consent. Everyone. Black men, white women. To touch you and your hair and your breasts and your feet and the comments. The comments never stop. I know the difference between exhibition and a compliment. I'm not stupid. In fact, statistically, Black women tend to be the most educated group in the United States. Why do you think I'm stupid? Which is connected to sex. I'm not a body. No one is ever looking at me, they're looking through me, which of course is related to slavery. Everyone objectifies you. No, everyone snow globifies you. And your beady eyes can push into skin and skeleton all you want, but I know the difference between being in a snow globe and being free. You're not gonna trick me into feeling honored. 7, if you want to construct your life outside of white womanhood, i.e. not get married and not have kids and not sleep next to some man in your house, touching your things, breathing your life, you're fucked. 8, why am I your communal mother, therapist, caretaker, sex doll, launch pad, ear? What if I don't care? No, really, what if I don't? What's there to do with that? That's the type of stuff that could really mess with your mind. It hasn't messed with mine, obvi, but it could really make you look in the mirror and go, I'm not a woman. I'm a body. I'm skin and teeth and feet and nipples and corns and stretch marks and hips and razors and pimples and gums and decay and bullet and brain. I'm not a person. I have no interest in being a person. Not if it means forest fires and cooling temps and starving babies and colonization and no ancestry and no history and no family and no name. I am just slime. I am just gums. I am other. I want nothing else. I want everything else. I want sun. I want moon. I want myself. I want to bite. So I do. I want to kiss, so I do. I want to scream, and I can. I want myself, and I have myself. I see me. I befriend me. We're friends. We're friends. And I would never let my friends be treated like that. I'm ready to talk about Penny.
6. Penny Lipton. Perhaps the air is sweeter, M's energy a little easier to take as she slips into her only dress of the night, a green number with puffed sleeves, looking a little like a puffed pastry, and some practically high heels. Think of me in my silky dress.
There's a lot of reasons why they don't invite me to the funeral. I think one of them is Penny, or what I did with Penny at the last funeral we went to. First off, I want to say this. If you ever survived a homoerotic friendship, I see you, I hear you, and I stand with you. Penny is the memory made skin. She's in my body. How do I describe my body? It was Mom's idea to befriend the Liptons. She saw them outside the New Life Pilgrim Church of the Episcopalians, seeking life in the divine in God and his holy children and friends for forever. Well, she only saw them because she was smoking a cigarette across the street outside of a church. What's wrong with her? She was so crazy. And she liked the way the Liptons stood, with the tips of his loafers and her heels touching each other. And the two of them picked their heads up at the same time, feeling someone staring at them, rather than telling the weird girl smoking in front of God to go away. They crossed the street over to her. And Mr. and Mrs. Lipton said, because they speak as a team, that there was a dinner service in 45 minutes if she wanted to come inside. Mom liked that, their offer. Not that they assumed she was homeless. I mean, she didn't think that much of it. Mom really loved people who had religiosity, not for herself, but just so she could hold theirs in the palm of her hand. Mom didn't believe in anything but herself, although she appreciated people who did. Said they helped her sleep better at night. So she had dinner with them. She came home later and she said she had been with real good people. Heart right. She wasn't wrong. I like Mr. and Mrs. Lipton. I don't know if they still like me. I hope. So when the apartment opened up next door to them, her new friends, who she saw at church, which she only went to by herself, by the way, she knew she had to get it. Actually, I was dishonest earlier. My family and I didn't start on Mary Street. We lived with Nana in South End for the first 5 years of my life, and then we moved. But it was also fundamental to me that I started the story on Mary. I'm sorry, Nana. I didn't want to put you aside. It's just, it was Mom's idea for Penny and I to start walking to school together. She thought I'd like her. Wow, not at first. I was all like, who the hell is this navy cape coat? This is because I was going through puberty, and that made me a bad person. It was also because my mom had been talking up Penny all day. She kept going. Can I describe her to you? Freckled nose, sewed on button like yours, pretty tall arms overhanging like a tree like you, little ringlets sprouting all over her head. Her mom still does her hair, and she's sweet, as light as powdered sugar, and a bit weird too, yeah. Last time I saw her, she told me her favorite food was a Go-Gurt. See? Perfect for you. I wanted to be offended by that. I was, for the 15 minutes between Mom's speech and the first time I saw Penny smiling. And then I felt it. An immediate, exacting hunger. I have to play you a song that I wrote about Penny when I was 13.
Crew members bring out the ukulele and hand it to M. She sings Penny's song.
If you could turn word into song, you would waste time under apple trees and spit a word of song about the birds and the bees. If you could turn rhythm into rhyme, you should post hope into lyricism, make beautiful what once was cynicism. As the times pass by, she still sings Penny's song. A coo, coo, coo. The birds flew and they knew, aching for the life they've outgrew. Palpable, they'd say palpable. If you could twist power into a melody, you would Writing keys into Diet Cola, felony and more. Look at what she said to me. If you could turn habit into action, you should. Praise a loser for all the time he's fumbled, and sympathize with the girl as she crumbles. As the times pass by, she still sings Penny's song. Coo, coo, coo. When love fit brilliantly into a shoe, unbearable, she'd say unshakable. As times pass by, she still sings Penny's song. Even if the signature's all wrong, eventually the melody bases itself back into a fine tune. Coo, a coo, a coo.
That's it. Crew comes out to take the ukulele back, but M throws it backstage. Cue cartoons crash sound effect.
Yeah, I know. Multi-hyphenate. I used to wake up excited to go to school. The horror. There was no progression into my feelings. I just woke up one day at the other end of the slide. My heart was a dangling tooth. I tried hard to be cool about it, but everyone could tell. My mom used to joke that I was cranky because I hadn't had my lucky penny yet. My sister used to say that I was Penny's girlfriend, not the other way around. Bitches. I mean, look at this picture.
Slide 8. Picture of Penny as prom queen in sash and tiara, wearing a pink crop top that says baby doll and a pair of jeans. It's taken after prom. She looks remarkably breezy with a wide smile.
This is the only picture I have of Penny, by the way, and it's just from the fucking yearbook. Penny was friends with goddamn everyone. I'm surprised you guys don't know her. One of my favorite things about her is that she's always been so gifted at the thing I struggle with, which is not saying exactly what you mean. Like, I would say something and then Penny would add, what Emma means to say is that she wanted to offer you this deodorant, not because she thinks you stink, but because she wants to spend more time with you. Oh, Pen, what a diplomat. Sometimes I wonder if she was just entertaining me. And while this is giving pity friendship orchestrated by our moms, Penny and I had a lot in common. We loved cartoon marathons, we both once threw up after eating too many Go-Gurts, we liked flipping through magazines, Sarah Michelle Gellar, and had a fascination with a certain red and fluffy guy named Elmo, which we were too old for. I was too old for. Okay, I was the one watching it, but it came on right before we left for school, and I wasn't gonna turn the channel. If you don't know, Elmo is a Nepo baby introvert, and he is my best friend. Elmo recharges from social interactions with famous people in a segment called Elmo's World, which is the best part of a little show called Sesame Street. And because his parents have financially stable jobs, he's able to spend all day answering his friends' emails and pondering what it means to be a person, what words to use, how to treat your neighbors, how to tell the people you love that you love them, and what to do with it. In high school, Penny fashioned herself into a stoner. This is because she was going through puberty. It was making her a bit of an asshole. To her parents, mainly, which I didn't get because as far as I could tell, they were awesome. Mrs. Lipton always texts me happy birthday. She didn't text me today, but, well, that's unrelated. Penny always said I wouldn't get it, going religiously untraumatized and all. I've never seen Mr. Lipton set Mrs. Lipton on fire, but okay. Anyway, all through sophomore year, Penny had some black ink in her chest and pink highlights in her hair, and the only way she could get the bad feelings out was by having some pot during lunch. She would offer to let me go with her, which is I always said no to because I don't do drugs. Not that I think there's anything wrong with people who do drugs, but look at me. Like, I already got a lot going on up here. Mel thought the whole suspension thing was funny. I don't know if you remember Mel. In addition to teaching me how to drive, he taught me how to play the ukulele. Always told me I'd get the girl, eventually. Oh, Mel, my best dad. The point is, we threw him a funeral, me and Penny. The Liptons hosted the reception and paid for his casket. But everything else, the telling people, the compiling Mel's life into a 60-minute event, we did. We were the only ones who knew him, really. I was in charge of making Nana's tomato toasties because Mal really liked Nana. He called her a bad kitty and she called him a real motherfucker, you know, like family. But I was in the Lipton's kitchen sweating over their granite counter, and I don't know if it was the breeze from the window or the way the overhead lights were catching Penny's baby brown eyes or the way I was feeling in my gut, the way I've been feeling my entire life, like someone is squeezing my heart, but I just picked up my head and pulled Penny's head down, and the feeling sweeps me, even now. And maybe it sweeps her because she's kissing me back, and it's happening. This unrequited circumstance is becoming requited. She's really holding my face, my very best friend, the only home I have left now. And I guess time gets swept too because we don't hear my uncle come in the kitchen. Yeah, the fun guy from earlier, and he's yelling for my aunt who's covering grandma's eyes, who's demanding to talk to her son, who's apologizing to the Liptons for my bad behavior, who are trying to catch Penny's eyes, but she's not looking at anyone. She's just blinking at the tile. And me? I can't stop smiling. So guess it makes sense that they're worried about me being at Mom's funeral. They know I tend to get rather ravenous. Penny and I don't really speak anymore. Not because of that. Well, she said she wasn't ready for any of that, and I understood. You can't get too hurt when people reject you. You can't kidnap everyone. We grow apart. People branch, succulents die. What can you do?
M claps. This is the end of the Penny segment.
Speaking of eating, it's time for Nanny's Toasties.
The crew resets everything that M needs for her sandwich.
Okay, so first...
And like clockwork, the phone rings.
Whose phone is that?
Silence. The phone keeps going, worming its way into M's head.
Come on, guys, I silenced mine.
And finally, an answer. The stage manager walks out onto the stage, offering the phone.
It's mine. M, it's your sister.
What do you mean?
She says it's important.
Can you tell her I'm a little busy? I'm in the middle of a show.
M, your Nana's dead.
What?
A few minutes ago. I'm sorry.
Now he's done it. The world spins around her. Friends and foe blur together. This is not a great time for us to be in her brain.
Is it me?
What?
Is it me? Is that the reason everyone keeps leaving?
The stage manager doesn't know what to say. This moment, and the entire show really, is so deeply out of his job description.
I need 5. Intermission.
There is no intermission.
Fuck you, Tyler, give me 5.
M.
House lights on.
Beat as the other stage managers wait for Tyler's approval. He looks back at them.
House lights fucking on!
M, we really don't have time for a 5. The show...
Oh, shut up! This isn't a show! This is an open rehearsal. This is my open wound. What's the point?
The crew members look at each other, scramble, then house lights on. M is having a moment. She doesn't look at anyone as she exits from stage right.
Thank you, Vi.
Tyler, Sasha's stage manager, looks at the audience who are looking back at him. Fuck this. He follows after her. We can hear everything he's saying as the two of them walk in a loop backstage, re-entering from stage left. When they come back, M's back in her sweatpants, although it's not as seamless of a quick change as before. Maybe only one heel is on, her sweater's unzipped. She's carrying a tote bag, attempting to pack up the show as he speaks.
The point is, it's art. You mocking or stealing or kidnapping, whatever you want to call it, it's art. So we need to finish. We have to give everything the ABC, see all the letters through. The point is, I poured my spit, spud, sweat, sick into this, into you. I've made an investment and you need to see me through. The point is, people came, so you have to give them the moment. The gesture, your brain. You have to finish your brain for us. We're live. We're here for you. So finish the show.
M doesn't mean to listen, but she does. As he ends, the crew comes out with a lit birthday cake. It's not the moment M had in the script, but oh well. At this point, what's the point of a writer? They are a strange community. They sing her happy birthday, although a little jangled. They didn't rehearse.
Happy birthday to you.
Someone might try the overlap with Stevie Wonder's version, but they end up surrounding Em, standing very close as she looks at Tyler, seeking his judgment just like everyone else.
Em, this is it, you know? Your 11 o'clock number.
I know.
We didn't get you anything.
That's fine. Sorry for being a dick.
That's fine. We're used to it.
Sorry for telling you to shut up.
Thanks for apologizing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still have the time capsule.
Oh?
We could pretend you gave me that.
If you want.
Em stands to the side, a little away from them, and uses a hammer to open up Sister's time capsule. She sees something that makes her pause.
Well, tell us.
Beat. Then, Em pulls up her mother's purple bell-bottoms, holding them like she would a baby. They kind of take everyone's breath away.
I gotta call her.
First, do you want to finish the show?
Yeah.
Stage manager and crew disappear on her word, back to their places.
What scene is this? Who the fuck knows?
7, my wrap-up. The stage manager does a blackout as soon as he hits the booth. When the stage lights come back on, Em is back in the green dress, although it might be a little different. Maybe longer, maybe unzipped. She's a little different. Insides have become outsides. This is okay. It's where she needs to be. The scene has a certain energy to it. It's not quite angry, but it's lost somewhere between that and peace.
This is it. This is peaches and cream. This is the dream. Here's to a funeral with the fun part loud and clear. Did you guys enjoy intermission? Did you get your drinks, your snacks? Did you use the bathroom? Welcome back. Did you miss me? I missed you. I didn't write an ending, so I have no idea what we're doing now. I have no choice but to kill you all. Kidding. Or am I? Yeah, I'm kidding. Wow. Now all we can do is recap. Today we won. Unpacked various traumas from childhood. Traumas which you all are now so intimately familiar with, and found some new scabs to pick. 2, we learned how a production works in real time, thanks to a surprisingly competent stage manager from Craigslist. 3, we learned our fathers are strangers. Our sisters are more than just us. Our exes are footnotes. And our nanas will die someday. Even today. Everyone who you love will die on you. 4, we, why am I saying we? I did the presenting. Well, it's true. I'm the star. I slayed the dragon. I got assaulted by men who I was supposed to love, and I put the prefix in fixer-upper, and I compressed myself until my lungs collapsed. I survived, and I watched water fill Mom's mind till the dam broke, and I survived some more, and I put my heart in my own mouth, and I booked the theater, and I circled the drain till I clogged the pipe, and I ate the sun, and I fucked the devil. I slayed the dragon, and I ate the sun, and burned the bridges, and became the chosen one. I win. I won, and now the show's over. Well, fuck.
At that moment, enter Penny from stage left, wearing her most all-American girl drag, a white button-down and washed blue jeans. Think Paul Newman. She's really not supposed to be here.
Emmy.
Em repeats, I slayed, I ate, the one to herself. Penny has to physically shake her out of her stupor.
Emmy, enough now. That's enough.
Penny?
That's enough now.
I won.
I know you did, honey.
What are you doing here?
One of your friends called me. I don't know how they got my new number, actually. I heard that you need help. How are you?
How am I? I'm good. Didn't you hear? I won.
Yeah, no, I heard. You're rambling about stuff.
Pen, I'm kind of busy here.
I should have texted. I still had your number all these years. I should have DM'd. I should have emailed. I should have sent a pigeon carrier. When I heard about your mom, I always wanted to. I missed you.
Penny hugs her. Em is silent and stiff.
Emmy, honey, it's time to let these people go home.
I can't.
Yes, you can. You can unclench. You can release the harnesses. The show is over.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. It's 11 o'clock.
I can't. I didn't do my number. I didn't get everything out.
There is no everything. There's only now and me. Why don't we take a walk? Catch up for a bit.
Em stares at her, then decides.
Well, shit. Here ends the play. Well, shit. Next time we're all together like this, I'm sure it'll be for Penny's wedding ceremony, where she hold us all hostage after realizing she doesn't want to be with the finance bro.
Enough now. Let's go.
Penny takes her hand. Em and Penny walk out, then...
Wait, hold on. I had a video.
Em runs back to the table. The projector doesn't immediately come on.
It was working before. I thought, well, it's all right. It doesn't matter.
Em takes off the heels and replaces them with ruby red house slippers. Not fancy ones. Think of the ones you get from a lady in the Bronx. She bows to the audience and takes Penny's hand. Exits.
All right, let's strike the set.
The crew proceeds to clear the set as Em's home videos play, taking up as much time as they need. The security guards might drag the formerly drugged bodies of Uncle and Dad out as they wake up. Feel free to improvise. They may end at the same time as Em's video, they may not. All we know is that the stage manager should be the one to give the signal to turn off the house lights and for everyone to go.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for a magical, fantastical, didastical evening. The running time for this evening's performance is 1 hour, 26 minutes, and 22 seconds in this time-space continuum. Your next call in the ether is tomorrow, March 5th. Thank you, and good night.
crumbs on your face?
Replied Becky with a smile. TJ didn't laugh, so Becky and Bob went in search of free samples. Meanwhile, on the other side of town, Granny May was doing some shopping of her own. At the bank, she handed the teller a coupon that was good for 1 free toaster and all the money in the bank. As she left with her loot, a guard stopped her, but Granny May showed him the coupon too.